can go ahead.
Jazakallah khair. Barakallah feekum. I have a book that I actually authored to contain all this information, and subhanallah, Sister Atiyah, may Allah reward her, she printed it, but I forgot to bring it, so I had to send my wife, she almost was here, so I had to send her back to bring it. Although I promise not to start until she comes, but I will break the promise like normally I do, you know. So I just want to fill you in regarding the parts of this presentation. But I really want to make this as interactive as possible. You know, I really don't enjoy that, you know, lecturing kind of. Want to talk about this because this is again a human, you know, product, not something that, you know, divinely kind of revealed. Yani. It's a study that I did benefiting from the work of previous educators in the field, Islamic educators. And I'd love to share it with you because that's the, you know, the concepts or the word philosophy more appealing to you that we would like to integrate in Safa, inshallah, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. But here is the bad news that I have four parts presentation. I'm supposed to spend until 1 o'clock with you, so you're stuck. You're not going to go anywhere. But after each part, you're going to have a quiz. 25 questions. True or false, that's it. Just true, false, false, true, true, false, false, true. And that will show me that you actually, you know, were following, not, you know, thinking about something else. So, are you ready to start with part number 1? Basically, part number 1 is, you know, the introduction to the entire concept. Let me see if I can get it. Somehow I didn't save it. Okay, here you go. Part number 1 is this reclaiming education, the prophetic vision, and the story of the boy and the king. You know, really the entire idea behind this concept, alhamdulillah, was, you know, something that I read through this hadith. And for you to understand the hadith quickly, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard it before, hadith Abu Suhaib al-Rumi, في تفسير سورة البروج, that there was this king. King here is the people who are in control of the scene, basically. The people who run the show. The people who make the calls. The people who control education, what kids should learn in school. That's the representation. And obviously his curriculum is deception. Jazakallah khairan. Barakallah feekum. His curriculum was deception. Because he used to run his kingdom through a sorcerer. Someone basically who would play on the minds of the masses to make them see things not the way they are. That's what sorcery is. That's what deception is. The Prophet mentioned that وَكَانَ لَهُ سَاحِرٌ. So basically he would influence the people regarding their opinion or their position regarding the king using sorcery. And things are running this way. But a problem is about to happen. The curriculum, or the one who updates the curriculum, the one who manages the spread of deception in the society, is getting old and about to die. Then he goes to the king and he tells him, listen, we know, me and you, that we were lying to the people. And as you can see, I'm getting old and I'm about to die. And if I do die, the people are going to discover that you're a liar. And they're going to revolt against you. The king immediately asked him, what should I do? Okay, I want a young boy. That's the new generation in the hadith. We got to pass on this deception to the next generation. And by the way, this is how they define education in the Western world. Don't think that education for them is math, science, language, arts. No. They say education is the transformation of the culture of the living generation to the next generation. That's what education is. The curriculum is only one ingredient, but the environment in the school, the culture, the language used, the way the teachers present themselves, all of this contribute to this culture. Immediately the king, feeling the pressure and being concerned regarding maintaining his kingship, he scans the kingdom and he brings that young boy to him. But here is the interesting piece. The young boy, in his way to learn sorcery, he somehow accidentally he gets in touch with a sheikh, with someone who's abun tawheed, hiding somewhere. And somehow because of the fitra, فضل في الشيخ فضل مولانا فضل, because of the fitra, في كرسي هناك يا ابراهيم هاتوا للشيخ. Because of the fitra, هات تفضل مولانا تفضل. Because of the fitra of this young boy, subhanallah, he became actually attached to this king, to the sheikh. The hadith, of course, says monk. You know, we know that hadith, but I'm just trying to use our own. Basically, the kid got in touch with you, basically, with the educator. But the teacher was so appealing to the young boy. Imagine that he was so comforting, so welcoming, that the young boy ended up spending long time with him the first day, to the extent that when he went to the sorcerer, he arrived late and the sorcerer beat him up for being late. And the sorcerer insisted on keeping him the same duration of time which he is supposed to stay. Then he arrived home late. Guess who beat him up? His father. So he got beaten up how many times? Do you think this boy would go back tomorrow to the Safa, to the school? Huh? I got beaten up for going to Safa twice. He still went to Safa the following day. That shows you that Safa was an attraction. First of all, it's beside the truth, but the sheikh is the way he presenting things, the way that and actually he even requested a fatwa from the sheikh to handle that situation, the verdict. Yeah. So the sheikh told him, listen, if the sorcerer asks you why are you late, tell your father is the one who delayed you. Oh, ده بنسميه معاريض يعني. It's permissible, but we call in our time white lies. معاريض, that you say something that means two things. And it is permissible to use that at time of war. Yeah. And if your father asks you why are you late, tell him the sorcerer kept me late. And it worked. Why this beating up? Why this beating up, and why this so much emphasis in the hadith regarding this particular issue? The Prophet will tell you, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that this boy received an equal amount of truth and falsehood. Think about it. Like the amount of time he spent learning kufr, shirk, which is sorcery. Sorcery is kufr, by the way. Deception. The same amounts he learns the truth. And you will be surprised, my dear sisters and my mashayikh here, is most of our kids go through this. They get a share of falsehood through video games, through internet, through Wi-Fi. Parents have no control anymore. That parental control is gone. I'm sorry. So they get a share of that. But here is the imbalance, that they do not receive an equal share from the sheikh side. And that's what we're trying to come up with here. So imagine this boy, like our kids now, like Muslim children now. Every single day, he learns truth, falsehood. He learns haqq and batil. Imagine he goes to both classes every day, learning, studying. And this is what you call what? And this is really the concept that we're building the entire prophetic paradigm, the book on, is you want them to come up with what we call conscious, critical thinking. That's what we want to do with our children. That we want them to prefer the sheikh over the sorcerer, using their what? Critical thinking. Because at the end of the day, I'm sorry, I mean, there is no way you can be supervising your children 24/7. I mean, and after a couple of years, they are out of your... But when they build that mindset, this is the right thing to do, based on thinking, that's a protection for them. So imagine this boy is he's every day at one stage, he realized that those two cannot fit. I can't be those. This is what we call bipolar, like two characters. So subhanallah, because he was truthful, so he said, I want to find out which is more beloved to Allah, what the sheikh or what the sorcerer has been teaching me. Allah prepares the scene for him. A monster, or the hadith Sahih Imam Muslim, Asl hadith, but في Sunan Nasa'i that it a lion. As if those people used to live on a hill, and for them to go about their work, they have to cross over a bridge to go farm or do their business. So a lion came and sat on the top of that on that bridge, so they couldn't go to their work. So they immediately called the king. King, we pay taxes. Come on, if you want us to pay taxes, you got to. So guess what the king did? He called who? The sorcerer. Now the sorcerer is spending so much time with the boy teaching him. He said, I want to test the boy now. I want to see if it works or not. But the boy had a complete different agenda. The boy had his own approach. He said, today, I'm going to find out which is right, which more beloved to Allah. What the sheikh has been teaching, and he started with that, which really means that he's already leaning as if he knows, or what the sorcerer has been teaching me. So he picks a pebble, a rock, and this is what we call what? Supplicate. Allahumma, O Allah, if you love what the sheikh has been teaching me more than what the sorcerer has been teaching me, I know this rock doesn't kill a lion. I mean, a rock never kills a lion. But basically he's requesting what? A sign from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The lion was killed. Now he became certain. Okay, now I'm going to give my life for this. This is the truth. Imagine that. And the hadith is beautiful, but this is the piece really that I want you to focus here, because that's related. Of course, he became popular and famous. The people would come to him. We heard that you heal, and immediately he does like, a righteous scholar would do. He says, I don't heal people. Allah is the one who heals. So if you believe in Allah, I will make dua. I will call upon Allah to heal you. And if Allah wills, He will heal you. If Allah doesn't, then that's... I'm just gonna... So he's making sure that there is no ambiguity here regarding his position, and he doesn't have any divine attributes and so forth. So basically, the king found out about him. He wanted to kill him, but the people advised not to do it because he's going to become a martyr, and that may cause more disruption to your kingdom than what you're trying to deal with. So what should I do? Just kill him and make it a natural death. They sent him one time to throw him from the top of the mountain. He was actually saved. The mountain shake. The people who were taken to kill him were taking him to get rid of him. Actually, they were killed, but he returned to the king. And then they took him again into the sea, the same thing. And here it is, he tells the king, you're not going to be able to kill me unless you do what I ask you. Just tie me to the trunk of a palm tree and say with a loud voice before you shoot an arrow that you're going to take from my arrows. Bismillahi Rabbil Ghulam, in the name of the young boy, I shoot this arrow. The entire kingdom became Muslims. This part really is not, but my part here is, this is exactly what we're going through. We got an established system who run the show. They are in control of everything. They control the narrative. And one of the most valuable institutions they possess is the public school system and what is being taught there. And for them to maintain their power, they have to make sure that the message is what? The next generations are not going to revolt against their system. Now we come in and we try to play the sheikh part, and Allahul Musta'an. So the concept here is realizing the setup that we function in. We're competing with, government institutions. Public schools are run by, the tax money of people. Our institutions are run by donations and by, tuition that parents can complain about, being able to afford it. But we still have to do something. And the next part, I'm done with part one, number one. I'm just going to go through the slides, maybe 6, 7 slides. But this is part one of the presentation. Let me go through the slides, then I'll give you the quiz, inshallah. And the next part will explain why do we have to do this as Muslims? Why do we have to play the sheikh role? Why? Let me go through the slides, inshallah. So what we have here, what is that? The hadith is narrated by a companion whose name is Suhaib al-Rumi. The hadith fi Sahih Imam Muslim. And the hadith, by the way, explains the story of Surah Al-Buruj. There is a chapter in the Quran called Al-Buruj, right? Surah Al-Buruj. قتل أصحاب الأخدود النار ذات الوقود. The hadith explains that surah, by the way. A timeless story with lessons for education, spiritually and governance. The story mirrors the Ummah reality today. The tyrant strategy, key point, control the youth, control the future. King fears losing power, employs magician to sustain illusions. Magician demands a boy to train as his successor. The boy equals the next generation. Don't just look at one boy. The boy here is the next generation, basically, the children. Minds and hearts. The unexpected encounter on the way to the magician, the boy meets the monk. For you to understand that monkship culture, just because sometimes we may have some misconceptions about it, how this culture started. You see, when Prophet Isa alayhi salam was raised, two types of Christianity were evolving. The true, what we call, I think that they call it the Ariana, that's how they call it in the biblical tradition. The true teachings of Prophet Isa, basically. What has been taught in Baytul Maqdis by the disciples, that Isa is a messenger and he was raised up, like we believe. But there is a man by the name of Paul or Saul introduced another formula, which they call the Pauline Christianity. And he came up with the Trinity, with the atonement, that he died on the cross and all that stuff. So those two were growing in the Roman Empire to the extent that they started clashing, like Sunni Shia now, like we have. So the emperor, his name is Constantine, because both places, Baytul Maqdis was under his domain, under his rule, and Europe is under his rule. So he said, I don't want fighting in my kingdom here. We need to figure out who's this Jesus. So he gathered the entire body of scholars from both the Ariana, the true followers of Isa, and the Pauline, in a place called Nicaea, the year 325, Nicaea, which is Istanbul now, by the way. And he had them stay in one room, and he said, don't come out of this room until you figure out who's Isa. I want one Isa. Figure out. You fight it out. I want one Isa only. Is he son? Is he God? Is he three? Or is he a messenger? Subhanallah, they came up with the Christianity that we see now. That he is the son, and three, the Trinity, and crucifixion, all that fake stuff. So now the scholars who used to follow the true Christianity, now they were threatened to be killed. So they ran away to the desert. That's where this monk is hiding. And actually in the story you're going to find out that the king executed him. So he's a Bun Tawheed, he's a monotheist, although he's a follower of Isa. That story happened in Najran, by the way, Saudi Arabia. That's that story. In east of, between Yemen and Saudi Arabia, Najran. Although he's a follower of Isa, but he was a Bun Tawheed. That's why he was hiding. The sheikh here on the way to the magician, the boy meets the monk. The monk is the bearer of the truth. The monk is you and me. That's in the story. We are Safa. We're trying to change the narrative, basically. Outsider in society, represent prophetic legacy. Boy's heart shifts towards Tawheed and critical thinking. The crucial test, boy meets a monstrous beast blocking the road, public fear, chaos, uncertainty, his supplication, O Allah, if the monk's way is dearer to you than the magician's, kill this beast so people may pass. The beast dies, road opens, faith is anchored. Now he is certain of the truth. Choosing truth over illusions. That's really our goal, wallah. If education, if Islamic education can do this to our children, like this boy. That boy had a choice, by the way. He could have been what? This powerful magician, the second man in the kingdom. Actually, he has control over the king. The king fears him. But imagine with his consciousness, with his freedom, he chose that. I want to do this because this is the right thing to do. And that's what we wanted to do, quite frankly. Truth over illusion, submission over manipulation, faith over fear. Three segments in the society always. We have the power brokers, the people who control, Trump and whoever comes under him, the people who control the scene. In this was the king, the magician. They shape the narrative. They control the media, control everything. They control the scene, the stage. We have the champion of truth, which we hope that we are, you and me. We're hoping, inshallah. May Allah make us amongst those. The monk, the boy, carry tawheed, tarbiyah, da'wah. And here is the thing, the undecided, the masses. That's really where the competition between the first two. You see, we're competing with the power brokers to attract more masses our way. The undecided. The people who waited for this king to take an arrow and say with a loud voice, Bismillah Rabbul Ghulam, for them to be Muslims. Masses, undecided. There are people who they worry about their jobs, but they're waiting for something like that to make things happen. Boy gains wisdom, healing, ability, brought before the king. Torture, exile, execution, attempts fail. His martyrdom sparks mass awakening. We believe in the Lord of the boy. The blueprint for our time, sorcery today, mass media, shallow knowledge, inflated credentials. What is that word here? Yeah, mass, again, I think the same thing. And among today, youth caught between control system and revelation call. The boy today, sincere, sheikh, educators, and dawah. The final stand, martyrdom. The masses proclaimed, we believe in the Lord of the boy. As soon as he actually managed to kill the boy, the entire community saying, Amanna billahi rabbil ghulam, embracing faith despite knowing the cost which their life. The boy accepted martyrdom by guiding the king himself to carry it out, scaling his legacy in truth. The mother, infant, actually this scene, subhanAllah, this entire hadith ends with this scene. The final scene in this hadith. A mother who just delivered a baby infant. And she's about to be thrown in the fire, in the trench, to be burned to death. Of course, they would give them the choice. Just believe the king is the God, and you're not going to be burned. So the mother started deliberating, considering back enough when she saw her baby infant. So Allah made the baby speak in the cradle. This is one of the incidents that an infant speaks in the cradle. Ya Ummah, uthbuti fa innaki ala al-haq. Mother, be firm, you're upon the truth. Meaning what? Of course, according to a lot of people, this is suicide. I understand that. That's why they call us strangers. That's another way. You know, also if a non-Muslim reads that story, he would actually say what? Well, that boy and the entire, da'wah champs, they are losers because they ended up what? Like the way that people look at the people of Gaza now, like here they are. No, they are actually the winners. We are the losers. They are the winners. They die on the truth. Yeah, thabat, that's the firmness. Because at the end of the day, we're going to die. I will die, you will die, it doesn't matter. But what matters is what you get next. But this is the entire amazing, the Quran, the reason why behind this slide is Surah Al-Buruj started was Sama'i Dhat Al-Buruj. The sky and the stars. One of the tasks of the stars is to protect the revelation. You know when you see a shooting star, what happens? This is a jinni who's trying to eardrop on the angels. He gets hit with a shuhub. And the surah ends, إِنَّهُ لَقُرْآنٌ مَجِيدٌ فِي لَوْحٍ مَحْفُوظ. What I'm trying to say here begins and ends with the reality of the preserved Quran, the eternal guide for the Ummah. The Quran divine blueprint raises courageous da'wah carriers till the day of judgment. The prophetic paradigm is a mission renewed in every generation, safeguarded by Allah till the end of time. Meaning that if that system manages to, Allah will still bring that to make a difference until the day of judgment. That's it. That's all. That's part one. We still have 3 more to go. But now I want to hear some questions, and then you're going to answer the questions. And you're going to write your name here, by the way, inshallah. All right? So any questions? No questions? Man, that story, no questions about that story? Give me a break. It's too early? Should we bring you some coffee? فين القهوة إبراهيم? Sister Atiyah, can we buy them some coffee, please? On me. I'll take care of it. On me. يا هات لنا قهوة إبراهيم الله يخليك. يلا خد وزع عليهم الأسئلة. Okay, here is the questions.
You should be happy and you should drink double coffee.
Yeah, I know. كل ما انت اللي هو بارت 1 بس واحد. انت خلطهم ببعض؟ بارت 1 بس يا ابراهيم. سهيلة جالها الابروفل. سبحان الله. لا احنا ما بدأناش قبل ما تيجي. استنينا. Sure.
About the story, when we tell the students the part where the monk was killed, it was very graphic, like he was cut
Yes.
into pieces.
Yes.
What would you suggest? Which grade levels should we go to medium to or high to? Like how should we?
I wouldn't go into graphic like that.
With all the students or?
Well, of course, until maybe elementary, I would say like 5th, 6th grade, that's fine. They can handle that. They watch more crazy things on video games on screens than this. But the younger ones, I would refrain because it may have some effects on them. Yalla, Ibrahim. These are very easy questions. هات لي واحد كده يا ابراهيم ما اشوف عامل ايه. ازيك شيخنا؟ اخبارك ايه؟ الحمد لله. No, true or false, صح وغلط. You can do نعم or no, that's fine. Yes or no.
We need to write your names.
Yes, on the top, please. The name and the grade you're teaching, kindly.